Now, I'd like to talk about another Dharma term that can be kind of mysterious, and that's the whole concept of merit. For years, I've listened to the students of my teacher asking Rinpoche why they're not progressing faster in their Dharma practice. And the answer almost always is, you need to accumulate more merit first. So merit indeed is cumulative, but we don't accumulate it like in a merit storehouse somewhere in the sky. So I think the word accumulate is misleading in that it suggests stockpiling merit. In my experience, it would be more accurate to say that merit is cumulative. Its results do add up, and its effect is to reduce our obscurations. We could say that merit helps us to accumulate less obscurations, if that sentence makes sense. And anyway, I warned you that I feel that the word accumulation is misleading. And it's a little more complicated. Merit is part of a dynamic Dharma duo, which also includes awareness. And these two terms together, merit and awareness, single-handedly define our path to enlightenment, so I'm told. All branches of Tibetan Buddhism teach that merit and awareness, working together in tandem, are the ticket to Buddhahood. So that's a strong statement, and it's really important that we understand what are they talking about. So this little piece of Dharma knowledge, merit and awareness, is well worth unraveling until we fully get it, till we fully take it in and understand it all the way down to the practical level of how we can use it. In fact, personally, for me, I found this to be absolutely crucial information in my training. When I finally understood how merit and awareness worked together, my Dharma practice took a giant step forward. But this took a while, and hopefully it won't take so long for you because I will do my best to explain it. But still, it may take time, and certainly some listening and thinking on your part. In the Dharma sense, merit has to do with the purity of our intention. A meritorious action is one that does not further obscure our mind, but actually helps to remove what obscurations we already have. Such an action is said to have merit. Another word for merit is skillful means. So that would be just another way of saying it. Now in Buddhism, offerings of one kind or another are a common way of accumulating merit, to use the word accumulating merit. Acts of generosity, acts that are unselfish, acts that are as pure as possible, whatever that means. And it's not so much what we offer as how we offer it. For example, all over the world, Buddhists set out 7 offering bowls on their shrines, their daily shrines, and they have various substances in them, and they do this each day. There's one bowl might have flowers and another food, musical instrument, small one, but especially and always water. Water is the most common substance that's offered by Buddhists on their shrines all over the world. Yet water is one of the least commercially valuable substances in the world. Now, I know that water is now starting to become more valuable, but up to now, water has not been considered a precious substance, except maybe in the desert. In fact, it's just the opposite. And my point is that in offering water, water itself is not considered meritorious because it's just water. Everybody has it. So the merit of offering water on your shrine has to be in the offering, has to be in our intent. So that's what can be meritorious. And it's said that water is offered because since water has no real value, we each can offer it purely. There's no wince of selfishness for having to give up some water and put it on the shrine and not drink it. Since it's so ubiquitous, water's just not worth clinging to. Now, there has to be some humor in there somewhere, since water, along with air, is the source of our continued life. So, if we offer something precious, like gold, and we give it away to the church or to whomever, we might easily feel like a little twinge of regret, about not having that money. Even offering our very best food on the shrine might cause us to wish, just however momentarily, that, gee, I would like to eat that. These twinges, etc., so the Buddhists say, further obscure the mind, and they take away from the purity of our offering, thus affecting the amount of merit that we can accrue in return. So gaining merit is like threading a needle. Purity of our intent seems to be paramount in accumulating merit. So it's not what's offered, it's not the substance that's offered, but rather how we offer it. Merit at some point becomes just a word if we don't keep in mind what merit is actually for. Accumulating merit simply means accumulating the necessary conditions for us to reach enlightenment. That has to be what merit's all about. It's not a thing in itself, not something that you can put your hands on, but rather it's an attitude, an approach, a way of becoming spiritually, aerodynamically aligned with a path to enlightenment. And as mentioned, it's common to speak of the accumulation of merit like we might accumulate gold, and then take it to the bank. But as pointed out, this really is misleading. Rather, merit is a process, or the process of purification that shapes us in a spiritually aerodynamic way until we each are airborne, on our way to enlightenment. Or another way to, analogy, if samsara, this world, if it's a wind tunnel, if samsara is a wind tunnel, then merit is what makes us aerodynamically fit to fly through the winds of change on our way toward enlightenment. Merit is a process that shapes us rather than something in itself that we can grasp. It's the process of continued purification until we can realize the true nature of the mind itself. And as mentioned earlier, merit typically is part of a matched pair of functions, usually called merit and awareness, and each dovetails into the other. Not only that, but each member of this pair allows the other to reach greater heights as a purifying agent, or whatever we can call it. In other words, merit and awareness, that the two of them are infinitely recursive with one another. A dynamo, basically, dynamic. Alternate words for merit and awareness typically are skillful means and wisdom. It's the same idea. Merit and awareness being skillful and wisdom. So awareness and wisdom are the same thing, and merit and doing something skillfully are the same thing. In fact, in Buddhism, there are any number of recursive pairs that serve to create purity and provide the necessary conditions for enlightenment. And this is where, at least for me, Zen Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism kind of overlap, because the Zen Buddhists are expert in showing that any activity, no matter what, it's perfect for the practice of mindfulness. Just Google, quote, Zen and the art of, unquote, and you'll get all kinds of hits, like Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance. That's maybe the best known, or Zen and the art of archery. In other words, there is merit in doing anything and everything well. And this is one case where a vicious cycle, or vicious circle, the recursiveness of merit and awareness with one another, is actually beneficial. Perfecting one of them makes it easier to perfect the other, and vice versa, ad infinitum. It goes on and on. So it's really important that you understand how these two work together. Once you do, at least for me, it changed the way I did my practice. In fact, this merit-awareness dynamic, this duo, is so important that I'm going to give you some very direct analogies. In Buddhist terminology, as mentioned earlier, merit is often translated as skillful means. And Dharma skill is no different from any other skill. Let's take a great golfer like Tiger Woods. His skill is in handling golf clubs and putting the ball just where he wants it. That's the merit. That's the skillful means of his craft. The other half of that, what we would call in meditation awareness, in golf is just the result that Tiger Woods gets from his swings. His skill is so great that he defies the odds against him and is successful where others are not. That hole-in-one or whatever, that kind of skill, is the equivalent of awareness in Dharma training, if we use the merit-awareness pair and technique. In every field, whether in the arts, crafts, or any discipline, including Dharma, the masters of it, those with skillful means, execute their actions so well that the result is remarkable. Often you can pick out the master craft from the others. It stands out. It has something about it, like an aura or whatever, that's unmistakable. Or it, as in sports, just out and out wins. That's the, there's the skillful means that wins. So one is skillful means and the other is equivalent to merit. And this whole topic is related to what, in essence, religion is all about, which are the things that are made well, the things that last. The Latin root of religion is religare, which means to bind. So religion relates to the things that are bound, that bind, and basically the things that last longest. When everything else is gone, when everything else dissolves, the truths of religion still are there, they still stand. This is the idea, and Dharma is no exception. Everywhere we look in life, there is skill and skillful executions. And as I mentioned, the Buddhists call this skillful means, or more commonly just merit, meritorious action. An action has merit and is meritorious thus. A meritorious that is perfectly executed Dharma action, thins out our obscuration, creating more awareness for us. We can see the nature of the mind better. So more awareness allows us to see even more clearly yet. And then with that clarity to make an even more skillful action yet and generate even greater awareness. And it goes on from there, one encouraging the other. Let's take simple shamatha meditation practice, allowing the mind to rest on an object, just as an example. But this example holds true for anything we do with mindfulness. The more skillful we become in allowing the mind to rest, and this is even more so for what's called insight meditation, the more awareness results. So in other words, the more skillful we become in allowing our mind to rest, the more awareness results. The skill in resting the mind, or allowing the mind to rest, is merit, or skillful means. And the resulting awareness is wisdom, or awareness. And these two are recursive, meaning here that they feed on and catalyze one another. And here's how it functions. Ever greater skill in resting the mind merits ever greater awareness as a result. And that ever greater awareness gives us the ability to see how to use even greater skill yet, and so on, infinitely. Increased awareness allows us to see how to be even more skillful. And more skillful action, merit, on our part, generates even greater awareness, and on around it goes. So it's a closed loop. Once this recursive process is started, it feeds on itself, it escalates, and after a while it reaches some kind of incandescence. It's, basically self-perpetuating. That's why it's so important. In fact, this phenomenon is so incredibly important that it can't be stressed enough. It is, in my opinion, one of the true miracles of the Dharma. However, and it's a big however, getting the process to kindle, spark, and take fire can be a long time, and it requires constant practice. We have to learn how to do it. So, in summary, a rough definition of merit is that it is what has to be accumulated, what we have to accumulate for us to traverse the path to enlightenment, adding what must be added and removing what must be removed in ourselves. And as mentioned earlier, the very word accumulation can be misleading because it suggests that we're piling something up somewhere. And this is crucial. In fact, merit accumulation involves paring down and thinning out our obscurations, making them transparent. We know that merit and awareness include honing our mindfulness to the point where it takes fire and where true clarity, what's called insight meditation, is born. After that, definitely the going gets easier because it becomes increasingly self-perpetuating. However, getting to that point of incandescence is not easy, which is why I spend so much time attempting to explain how to accomplish this. Buddha laid out these instructions 2,500 years ago, and they are still absolutely true today.